I'm Adam Seidel here with my colleague Elena Broussard, and we represent the petitioner John Roten.
Okay. And ma'am, would you please announce for the record?
Yes, I am Paige Dale. I do not have an attorney representing me.
Okay, so you're representing yourself today,
Yes.
is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Gyle, I don't see any exhibits from you.
No, I am, oh, I'm sorry, I have a little one here. I did request all the CPS records, but unfortunately without an attorney, those take about 9 months. And right now, the Attorney General is also deciding if they're able to release the police reports regarding him and his son.
Okay. All right, thank you. So Attorney Seidel, exhibits 1 through 5, 6 through 18, and 20 through 39 are all admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. You all are set for final trial today. I stated what the issues were based on the pretrial order that is available before the court. You have 15 minutes aside that will include any opening and closing statements should you choose to make one, as well as any examination that you'll do. Attorney Seidel or Attorney Broussard, would either of you like to make an opening statement at this time?
No, Your Honor, I'll call my client when I get started.
Okay. And then Ms. Gyle, would you like to make an opening statement?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Attorney Seidel, you may call your first witness.
Thank you. I'll call John Roten.
Okay.
Mr. Roten, you're the petitioner in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we're here about Mason, who is 9 years old today, correct?
Yes.
In May of 2021, we entered an agreed order in the case when Mason was 5 years old, and we appointed both parents joint managing conservators with equal possession schedule, no child support, and mother was not to consume any alcohol during her periods of possession, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the alcohol issue was at that time, mother was on probation for a misdemeanor DWI out of Dallas County, correct?
Yes, sir.
And additionally, she had been arrested and was on bond for a felony DWI out of Denton County for felony DWI of driving intoxicated with a child in the car, correct?
Correct.
And the child in that case was Mason, correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. And so she had conditions of bond that prohibited from using alcohol, correct?
Yes.
All right. We went forward then with a petition to modify in October of 2021, correct?
Yes.
And you attached an affidavit to that petition, and in it you expressed to the court concerns. First of all, Mason was expressing a great deal of anxiety and refusing to go see his mother, correct?
Correct.
And you were concerned, he had made statements to you that made you concerned about possible sexual abuse, correct?
Correct.
All right. And additionally, you indicated shortly before we filed, there was an incident where mother called you highly intoxicated and you went to her house, correct?
Correct.
And Mason was in her care along with an infant child that she had had since then with another man, correct?
Yep.
And at that time, she was highly intoxicated. This was shortly before October of 2021, correct?
Correct.
You had to take care of the infant while she was intoxicated, and you went about 10 p.m. and stayed till 1 a.m., correct?
Correct.
And at that time, when mother woke up from being asleep, she told you she needed help with her alcohol problem and needed to get her life together, correct?
Correct.
And she allowed you to take Mason and keep him, correct?
Correct.
And so we went to court on that. On a temporary orders hearing was held October 28th of 2021. Those rulings are reflected in petitioners 3, correct?
Correct.
Mother was ordered to go on SoberLink and take a PEth test, correct?
Correct.
And because she had testified, she had not consumed any alcohol because that's part of her conditions of bond and her probation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And that she did take the PEth test as court ordered and she failed the PEth test, correct?
Correct.
All right. The judge then entered further temporary orders reflected on petitioner's Exhibit 4 in December of 2021 because we had SoberLink violations at that time by mother, correct?
Correct.
All the SoberLink records are admitted as petitioners 14, correct?
Correct.
Additionally, at that time, in our hearing on further temporary orders in December of 2021, there was another positive PEth test by mother, correct?
Correct.
Okay. At that time, the associate judge ordered no overnights for mother and restricted her time, limited her time each week, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the judge ordered that you could supervise those visits at your discretion. Mom was ordered not to drive the child, and mother was ordered to be evaluated and treated by the Nexus Recovery Alcohol Center, correct?
Correct.
Okay. We came back to the court in March of 2022 with an emergency motion, correct?
Correct.
That was based on multiple SoberLink violations. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that we had properly requested another PEth test as court ordered, and mother had refused to take that, correct?
Correct.
And in fact, you had prepaid it in advance, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then there was another incident leading up to that where you saw her intoxicated in your presence, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So after that, as a result of that emergency motion, there was a hearing held March 16th of 2022 by the associate judge. And those rulings are reflected on petitioners 5, correct?
Correct.
And the associate judge further restricted mother's visits to 2 hours of supervised visits only, correct?
Correct.
And you were ordered to be solely in charge of Mason at that time, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you did the intake for the supervised visitation center, correct?
Yes.
But the supervised visitations never happened, did they?
No.
Okay. Mother was also ordered in the further emergency order to continue to use SoberLink, correct?
Correct.
And she actually stopped using it from that point altogether.
Yes, sir.
And she's been under court order to use SoberLink throughout this case, and she stopped using it and has not resumed, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we also requested another PEth test, and she was ordered to take that, and she refused, correct?
Correct.
And again, you had paid for that in advance.
Yes, sir.
And mother was also ordered in the emergency hearing to attend individual counseling for alcohol abuse. And to our knowledge, she never did that, did she?
No, sir.
So basically, mother's had no periods of possession of Mason since approximately March of 2022, correct?
Correct.
Now, you have let her see him on a small number of occasions since then, correct?
Yes, sir.
Supervised by you, correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And does Mason express a lot of desire to see his younger brother?
Yes.
And he's worried about his younger brother, is he not?
Yes.
Okay. And there was one original drug test ordered of you at the very first temporary orders hearing, and you passed that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Since then, you've done some voluntary testing at my request, and those are on file with the court, correct?
Yes, sir.
And all those are marked as petitioners 10 through 13, correct?
Correct.
Okay. November 27th of 2023, we appeared before the associate judge who ordered a custody evaluation, correct?
Yes, sir.
You were ordered to pay, based on your income, $2,500, and you did pay that, correct?
Yes.
And Ms. Gyle, based on her income at the time, was ordered to pay $840, correct?
Correct.
And she never paid that, did she?
Not that I'm aware of.
No. So we went back to court then in February of 2024, and as reflected on petitioners 2, obtained an order from Judge Lee ordering family court services to proceed with the evaluation on you only since mother had failed to pay, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and that did happen. They did the evaluation of you only because mother didn't participate, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then later we went to mediation. That was not successful, and now we're in trial, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go back. We talked about these outcries by Mason. As a result of outcries of sexual abuse to you, you started him in therapy?
Yes, sir.
And later, did Mason make an outcry of sexual abuse to the counselor?
Yes, he did.
And as a result, did the counselor contact Child Protective Services?
Yes, sir.
And did they start an investigation along with the Colleyville Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And Colleyville's, because that's where you live, in Colleyville, correct?
Yes, sir.
On August the 5th of 2022, did you take Mason to the Child Advocacy Center in Tarrant County for a forensic interview?
Yes, sir.
And petitioners 16 admitted into evidence is a summary of that forensic interview made by the Colleyville Police Department, correct?
Correct.
And that does indicate in the forensic interview of Mason that he made outcries of sexual abuse against him by his mother, correct?
Correct.
And Mason was highly concerned that the same thing was going to happen to his younger brother, correct?
Correct.
And that was investigated by CPS Tarrant County and Colleyville police, but Tarrant County couldn't prosecute because those offenses had not occurred in Tarrant County, correct?
Correct.
Okay. CPS wrapped up its investigation, was reflected in petitioners 15 with a finding of reason to believe sexual abuse committed by mother against Mason, correct?
Correct.
And then you've continued to take him as needed to a therapist, correct?
Correct.
And he's now at the point where the therapist says you can bring him as needed. He may need it later as he goes through puberty and starts to age, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I want to fast forward now to, I want you to think about a month ago, September 7th of this year, just a little over a month before this trial, about 9 p.m. at night. Did Ms. Gyle contact you by FaceTime video conferencing?
Yes, sir.
And did you record that FaceTime video conference?
Yes, sir.
And that's reflected on our exhibits 38 and 39, correct?
Yes.
And is he clearly intoxicated in that video?
Yes.
Is she start out laughing and giggling and being silly and then suddenly become highly emotional and start crying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then shortly after that, is there a verbal altercation between her and the man who apparently she's living with at this time?
Yes.
And does he say to her on that video, "You're not in your right mind, you need to go to bed"?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a baby present who begins crying?
Yes.
So to your knowledge, since we did the original order, Ms. Giles had another child with a man, with somebody, and then she's had now a third child with another man, the third man, correct?
Correct.
All right. In the felony DWI case in Denton County, the indictment has been admitted as petitioners 26. And you're aware she had bond conditions from June of 2022 prohibiting her from consuming alcohol or controlled substances, correct?
Yes, sir.
And there's a petitioner's 33 indicates that in August of 2023, mother tested positive as a violation of her bond for cocaine, methamphetamine, amphetamine, and alcohol, correct?
Yes, that's an understand. Yes.
All right, and that ultimately she pled guilty to the DWI felony, is on probation, correct?
Correct.
Finally, we have photographs from mother's Instagram account, petitioners 35, showing the Miami trip in January of 2023 with girls' night out, showing her drinking an what appears to be an alcoholic beverage in front of her, correct?
Correct.
Then we have another picture from her photos, petitioners 36, dated February of 2024, showing a private jet and her in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl, correct?
Yes.
And the title of it is "Life Has Been Extra Special Lately," correct?
Correct.
She has designer clothes on, including a designer purse, correct?
Correct.
And then finally, petitioner 37, a reflection of mother from her Instagram of her Mexico Beach trip in June of 2025, correct? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, correct.
Okay, and she has claimed to Judge Lee in the past that she didn't have the money to do the custody evaluation, correct?
Yes, sir.
Or the sober link,
Right.
correct?
Yes.
The exhibits P21 through 25, those all relate to attorney's fees, and you're asking the court to award attorney's fees, correct?
Correct.
All right, and you have health and dental insurance, and you cover Mason, and that's on petitioners 20, correct?
Correct.
In summary, how is Mason doing now?
He's doing great. He's thriving in school. He's got friends. He's above average on his, he just got a map test in his, for his third grade. And he's in 200, I think 219 and 208, which is well above average. So he's doing great.
Okay, and do you believe all the orders we've requested about you being sole, mother not having any access or possession at this time, are all necessary for the safety and welfare of Mason at this time?
Yes, sir.
And do you believe they're all in the best interest of Mason?
I do. Yes.
Okay, and we've asked in our requested relief that mother pay guideline child support at minimum wage based on her having 2 other children, correct?
Correct.
And reimburse you a portion of the medical as well, correct?
Correct.
And those numbers are all reflected in our proposed parenting plan filed with the court, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay, and counsel, you have 54 seconds left.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Ms. Gyle, this is your opportunity to ask any questions. And you have to ask questions, otherwise you won't be able to overcome an objection by Attorney Seidel. So go ahead. If you wish to ask questions, I just want to make sure I'm clear on that. You can choose not to and just wait until your turn to speak and let me know what you want for me to know in regards to your side of the case.
I guess just wait for that. I don't know what question. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, Attorney Seidel, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, at this time, I'll rest.
Okay. All right. And Ms. Gyle, this is your opportunity to let me know what it is that you would like to say.
I would like to say, as far as the therapist, he did switch. I think it was that therapist, I'm so sorry, therapist number 4, because the others did not go along with the narrative of sexual abuse. And there are about 10 CPS cases prior to that Tarrant County one where they all deemed that there is no sexual abuse, which is what I'm waiting access for. He also was banned from having firearms and has shot himself with the child present, as well as had guns unlocked and loaded in Mason's possession. And the police also found drugs at that time. That was all within the last 2 years.
And Judge, I'm going to object. I understand this is narrative, but I'm going to object in that there's no evidence supporting many of these allegations, and none have been offered by mother other than her verbal testimony. So I understand we're in a narrative form, but I object to evidence testifying from documents that are not in evidence.
Okay, sustain. You may continue, Ms. Gyle.
As for my probation violations or parole violations, they did occur. I ended up with a very long sentencing. I have completed many classes related to drug and alcohol offenses over the last 2 years since I got sentenced. And I also have my 2 small children full-time with 0 issues with them. I have not had any CPS cases on them or anything of that sort. It's only been pertaining to Mason, and at times that I didn't even have him. And beyond that, the trips, I didn't pay for the trips, and I've sold all my designer stuff just to even try to make ends meet at the house with having a baby. So as far as the trips and that qualifying for me being able to pay, I didn't pay for those whatsoever. But yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom, full-time with my kids. I don't currently have any income, and I've had 0 issues with them and would just like to see my son.
Okay. Does that conclude what you wanted me to know?
Yes.
All right.
I mean, other than, yeah, since I don't have the evidence for that, I mean, I do believe that he's in danger with his father, but.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why did you stop the sober leak and the PET testing?
So I really was not drinking. It somehow showed a low level of alcohol on the PET test. And so I did not go back the next day at requested because it already showed the low level, the sober link, John was paying for it. I never had the money for the sober link and he paid for it and he stopped paying it. As for the visitation center, I tried to do the intake and they would not accept us because there was no history of family violence. And so we decided on me just getting to see him, but that became sporadic and just according to John's mood.
Okay,
But yeah, no, I wasn't the one ever paying for the sober link. John was paying for it and he stopped paying for it.
okay. Attorney Seidel, I know in the request is that mother essentially in the request to release that mother doesn't have any access.
That's
Sure.
correct, Your Honor, because of the extreme need to protect the child's safety and welfare. I know, I'm certainly appreciate that that's an unusual but I think the facts of this case with the police report and the interview and her failure to follow any of these court's orders and all argue for why that type of restriction should be in place in this particular case.
Yes, thank you. And I understand. I guess my question is, what, if any, even supervised, what would your client propose? Because what I wouldn't want to happen is for your client to do all of the supervision, because I don't think that is in the best interest of the child and definitely not in the best interest of the parties, because it could just potentially set up a situation for conflict. So what other alternative would mother have to see Mason at all?
Well, Judge, I think first of all, with that, I understand the court's concern, but there have been instances where he's allowed her to come visit that have not been, there's been no conflict. They are able to communicate. She did reach out to him by Facebook. They're not, this isn't a high conflict case, interestingly, and never has been. I've had it since the beginning when we did the original order. And the times that she's come to the house to visit Mason has been with dad there, and not to my knowledge, there's been no conflict per se. It's just so visitation at his discretion would probably be better for the child and the parties. But if we had to do a visitation center, Your Honor, we first of all that she resume SoberLink. And I do want to correct one thing. The judge did start out with John paying SoberLink, but then after all the violations, the subsequent further temporary orders reflect that she was ordered to pay and maintain her own SoberLink. And that's when she had an attorney and she did those things. So then she just discontinued using it. But to go back to your question, we would propose that he be allowed to, at his discretion, grant visitation as he has in this case while it's been going on all this time. And if it had to be supervised, Judge, we would ask for two hours a month, but mother to have SoberLink testing because she's repeatedly failed to follow the court's orders and comply. We have no evidence that she's in compliance.
Okay, thank you for that. The visitation schedule, what was it usually? Was it something consistent, like this particular day for this between this particular time, or was it just sporadic?
It's my understanding, and I'm happy to let Ms. Gyle address it too, or my client, but from talking to my client, there have been times Ms. Gyle has the habit of saying, I want to come see Mason today. And my client will respond, today doesn't work, but we could set it up for day after tomorrow or tomorrow. And then she just seems to lose interest or doesn't follow through because it doesn't seem to work for her. But there have been times where, and he can speak to this, that it has worked. He has allowed her to come over and visit and bring Mason's younger brother with her.
Okay, Ms. Gyle?
So that is not the case. John will bail a lot of times that he says I can see him, and that is typically why if I can get his attention right that moment, I'm like, can I come now? Because if I can get a yes then he usually will follow through. But if he sets it for a different time, then he doesn't answer his phone. I've driven out there, he's not home. Also, I would not like it to be supervised by him. He's made sexual advances at me during those times. He's also just tried to get a rise out of me different ways, and it has been peaceful because I'm not gonna argue in front of the kids with him. But no, I mean, he does somewhat harass me all those times.
Okay.
So we
The,
would, if we're
Go
going to do, if I may, Your Honor, I don't mean to cut the court off at all. If we were going to do supervise, we would propose 2 hours a month, and at mother's expense. And we set it up that way. And we would like her.
I definitely understand the concern when it comes to unsupervised access. I just wouldn't want because Mason is so old. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but even reading the custody evaluation, I mean, he loves his mom. It's clear that he loves his mom, and I wouldn't want him to not see her at all. So that's the court's dilemma right now. The child support that's listed in here, is that listed based on minimum wage and the number of children that mother has?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And
All
the
right.
health and dental percentage is based on minimum wage.
Okay. So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to take this under advisement, and I'll get you all a ruling out on Monday.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Thank you all for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Judge.
Your Honor. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.